we're going to spend the next few minutes talking about supporting outdoor learning in the TDSB. And the one thing I want to say is I'm talking about outdoor learning, not outdoor education. Although I'm essentially assigned principal for outdoor education, outdoor learning happens and could be and should be happening every day in every school and every classroom across the TDSB. And I'm a firm believer in doing that and supporting that. In terms of outdoor education in the TDSB, it's been a very strong focus since the inception of the TDSB in 1998, but even in the legacy boards prior to that. Today, we still run 9 outdoor education centers, 4 that support day visits where students from all across the city and come to visit us for just one day at a time, and 5 centers that support overnight visits where students primarily in grade 6 and above come for a visit for 3 days and 2 nights. So it's an overnight stay. And due to COVID, we haven't been operating these sites, but the staff have been doing outreach into schools and virtually to support the online learning that is happening. So we do have these 9 centers. They're a wonderful resource. We hope that we're going to have students back at them as soon as possible. But again, we're going to continue to support schools all across the system in how they can support outdoor learning with their own teachers through resources and professional development, but also with our outdoor education staff have been going into schools and doing programming in schoolyards and local green spaces. So a field trip without even leaving the school. Oop, that isn't what I thought was going to happen there. There we go. Like I said, our department has been doing a lot to support outdoor learning, and we know that teachers all across our system have different levels of comfort and understanding and not knowing where to start. So every year, May in the TDSB is Get Outside Month, and our department puts together 20 to 22 lessons that are ready to go for teachers to take and use with their students outside. Every year, we've done a focus and a theme. Last year was physical education, the year before climate action. We've done Indigenous education, science, social studies, and the humanities. Every year we have a different focus. Likely this May, with the new math curriculum, we'll have a focus on math in the outdoors. We also do virtual office hours. So teachers that just want to run ideas by us or some support or point us in the right direction, we've been running weekly office hours. We have an area on the TDSB's virtual library pointing to books at a variety of different levels, both professional learning for teachers, but also picture books for students, families, and teachers to enjoy that connect to taking learning outside. And what I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking to you about is the new Taking Learning Outdoors website. And so this is truly designed to support parents and families, schools, teachers, administrators on how they can support outdoor learning. And all of this information is available from our TDSB outdoor education website. And I'll put that in the chat just as we move into the outdoor learning website. So it is schools.tdsb.on.ca/TOES. And this is a school website on the public side. So there are some pieces that staff need to log into, but there are others that are completely public for parents, families, and other educators. We have educators from all across the world accessing our resources, and we're really excited to be able to share those. So I'm going to share another tab. Here we are. So I wanted to kind of help navigate people. This is the TDSB's public website. And if we go to the parent tab, here you will see many tiles of different ways to support parents and families of getting involved in the TDSB. As we scroll down to the bottom, here we see a tab, Taking Learning Outdoors, and this was launched last spring. As we go onto the website, there's a short video that talks about the importance of learning outdoors. This was done by me and our TDSB media team last February. So you see actual TDSB students in their masks outside in the snow, learning and engaging in various activities. As we go farther down the homepage, there are these 5 tiles to support outdoor learning. Why take learning outdoors? We know there's many questions about that. So we have a lot of resource and papers to go through. And again, I'll click on the link so you can see. And again, always tiles along the page for you to see what supports your interest or take you further down the rabbit hole to find resources on every page. So here is supporting mental health and well-being, environmental education resources, Indigenous resources, and taking learning outdoors in the media. So again, lots of different resources. At the top of every page, you can go back home. And as you are on this homepage, you can see that there's resources for your school, for your class, for family, and related to COVID-19, because we do realize that we continue to live, work, and learn within the reality of a global pandemic. I thought I'd take a moment to click on the resources for families. And on this page, again, how to prepare for the weather. If you click there, there are different links with pictures on how to support being ready to be outside. Again, the information that I just shared with you about why taking learning outdoors. And I thought I'd take a moment to click on the tile for outdoor family activities. On this link, where I would really go to, and all of the pages, whether for schools, for families, for administrators, there's a list of resources. And this is designed to really be a very quick overview of who is creating this resource, what is it for, and then a direct link to the resource. So I love this one, Discovery Walks in Toronto. If you click the link, it takes you directly to the City of Toronto's website. And on the website, it gives you a list of the different ravines and parks across the city with wonderful walks. And when you click further, so the Harbor Arboretum in West Rouge, it talks about where the nearest subway station is, a route map, and an overview of those sites. So again, hopefully something that you can find to support your local community and what's happening. So we have resources from the City of Toronto, Rouge Park, the Toronto Regional Conservation Area, things that we're doing within the TDSB to support families, and again, parks across the City of Toronto. So I think at this point, I'm going to stop sharing and open the floor to any questions during the last 10 minutes that you may have. If there's anything that you'd like me to go deeper into, any questions, ideas, I can talk about outdoor learning ad nauseum. So really want to make sure that I'm able to address anything that's on your mind and how I can help.
May I have a question? Sorry about that. That link schools TDSB on CATOS. I just tried to my phone, but it's how do I say? It's giving like error. I can't open it. And I put because TOS 2, but it's error, and without TOS again, I can't open it. It's like an error. I mean, no website like that. But that link you share with us the screen, right? That one when we can. Oh gosh, sorry.
No, Felice, thank you so much for pointing that out. Why don't I open up a tab in my browser?
Because I tried to my phone, because now I'm using my laptop. I just tried to my phone, but it's the website, it's error, not opening.
Okay. Let me copy and paste the live link into the chat. So feel free to try and link it. I'm now sharing my screen to that web page. And what I would guide you to is this, this menu along the left-hand side of the screen. That's where you can link to our virtual library, resources for families. It has a lot of activities that you can access right from home. A lot of teachers have been accessing this as well during virtual learning. You can see our Get Outside lessons, different events.
Yeah, I just clicked the my laptop, the link. Yep. Yes, it's open, but with my phone, I can't. So, but it's okay. I just had it maybe. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for pointing that out. Right. And Ruth, you were saying you have a background in horticultural therapy, and in BC, coming to Ontario. What do you notice about some of the difference in what you see in schools that you're associated with?
Well, I've been back in Toronto for over 30 some years now, but I did go to, I was in, yeah. There's a different awareness, and even it extends into the First Nations, you know, awareness. My brother's a teacher in BC now, and they're just so deeply aware, and it's more immediate to people there as well. Communities aren't as big, and the outdoors, I'm just on the spot here, but the outdoors are more wild there. There's big rivers and big trees and big mountains and the ocean and all of that, you know, so it's quite a bit more a tame here, I suppose, but you know, so the differences I notice, yeah, those are the differences I know. And I suppose too, because I grew up near Alaska, up in the northern reaches of the province. So again, it was a pretty, it was very wild, you know. It was really it's quite a beautiful part of the world, so it's very different, but it was still, you know, now here, and so the therapy part of it here for me is I do work outside. I am a plants person, but I've worked a lot with seniors and Alzheimer's people and memories, and giving them, for example, handing them some seeds and having them talk about, you know, not being terribly verbal for a long time, and then all of a sudden they're talking about seeds and what they did with seeds when they were younger, and their mother when they were on the farm, and how they had to take care of the food and what they did, you know, things like that. Children too that are nonverbal, and then all of a sudden they're in the garden handling a watering can, and they shout out watering can, and maybe that was something they haven't spoken for a long time. And so things like that, you know, like this is really inspiring. I find these things really inspiring. I just Yeah, does that answer your question?
No, absolutely. Thank you, Ruth. And I agree with you 100%. I have been fortunate enough to travel very extensively out west through Alaska. I've hiked from Skagway to Carcross, and I've done the West Coast Trail and been to Haida Gwaii. It is quite fascinating and lovely. And I think the one thing that we say is getting outside and connecting students to whatever outdoor space is available to them is so important, because if we're creating a generation that's going to care for the world better than we have, they need to be aware and connected to it. Without that connection, we aren't going to foster that ability to learn and care and empathy for the natural world around us. And that natural world could be a crack in the ground in the sidewalk. It could be an amazing access to the many ravines that we have in Toronto, but it's about connecting to the world around them. I am a little bit mindful of the time because I know this was a short 20-minute micro session. I don't want to keep people from anywhere else they need to be, but I have nowhere to go, and I'm happy to continue the conversation with you. And thank you so much for stopping in.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. David.
Yes.
Here again, there were, would it to be possible, and I'm really thinking about this because I'm a nutrition liaison for TDSB in Learning Center 3.
What happened?
I'm even thinking about using fruits and vegetables and tying it to the earth. And what I mean by that is, for example, a strawberry. In the indigenous saying, a strawberry is called a heart fruit. It's the first fruit that it's the only fruit that bears its young on the outside. And if kids can know for example, what a strawberry means, at least they could use those, those particular knowledge. You said going up north. Well, I used to live up north, but to take the bowhead whale and they get blueberries. And by the way, blueberries grow up north of 60, and they pound it into the whale meat because they use that for seasoning. But those whales are different whales that we're used to. They're like bowhead whales. And there's so much lesson to be learned.
Absolutely. And we work very closely with our Indigenous Education Center. We have for many, many years. What you're talking about, Durward, is really exciting about that whole idea of food to table, food sustainability, where our food comes from. We do many programs about learning about that, but how can we incorporate that right into the schoolyard? I'm very supportive of. Through the sustainability office, there is information for schools where they can buy containers to do container gardening in. And that's just such a wonderful opportunity for students to get their hands dirty, exposed to what are some of the natural herbs and fruits and vegetables that grow in the area, and that they can take ownership and learn from. So yeah, happy to discuss more with you about that. And again, work with our sustainability office, which again has stock tanks, different things that can use for container gardening,
right?
And support that food to table.
Okay, well, let's call it a plan. I'm really willing and willing to help, because I know some schools are very interested in that. So definitely willing to learn and grow in this particular direction. Thank you so much, David.
No problem. So feel free, reach out to me on Outlook and we can set something up.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Durward.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
That was great. Thanks very much, David. That's fantastic. Yeah, that was interesting when Anthony just said. It was really cool. All these different-
And these are the great things that are happening all over, and what we just want to be able to help and support as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go far. I mean, really, think of water here in Toronto, right? Like, think of the green belt and everything, so where our water comes. Like that, in getting kids out. Oh, it's just so easy. You just need to. It's just so easy to do, and there really should be more of it. And yeah. Anyway, you gotta.
Yeah, you know, we're doing a new program, support to schools, and when the schools were being selected, 24 schools across the city,
Mhm.
you know, there was a new superintendent to our board that said, well, can you give me a map of the schools in my area that have like really great outdoor classrooms and that should be involved in this project? And I said, if you allow me to speak very frankly and tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
if the school has a door,
Yeah.
they're able to go outside for learning.
They all do.
And I truly believe that, right? Like, we don't need these elaborate, incredible green spaces to take learning outside.
Not at all. You can build a whole
Look
math.
what's right there.
Absolutely, you can build a math class around a tree. Like you really can. Like, it's just that simple. Yeah. Anyway, so
Wonderful.
so there you
We're
go.
speaking
Okay.
the same language. Thanks, Ruth.
Thanks a lot. Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Felice, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Oh, sorry, I forgot the mood. I'm sorry, I guess. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.